Hello beautiful people, it's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video and it's titled Harry and Meghan's relationship face rumors of splitting amid royal family distancing. Seriously. Interesting. I'm excited to check this one out to hear what they got to say. Let's check it out.
Joining me now is writer and broadcaster Esther Kraku. Esther, Harry's case against the Home Office is back in the courts. What's the update?
Yes, so Prince Harry's appeal to have his originally dismissed case against the Home Office to return his police protection, his state-funded police protection, has been approved. So he's now allowed to appeal it. This review was done by Lord Justice Bean, who said that there were two grounds where the prince had a plausible case of success. So the two grounds were mainly that RUVEC, which is the committee in charge of security for royals and VIP people, that is basically an offshoot of the Home Office, may not have followed their own written policy. And the second was that the justice in charge of the original case may have erred by saying that Prince Harry wasn't comparable in status to other VIP members. Now, of course, time has passed since this case was originally filed, and the problem is the fact that Prince Harry has been able to return to the UK and has been able to stay at hotels and has been able to go out and about with his own private security. That might suggest that actually, because he can do that, the judge in charge of the original case was not actually faulty by saying he can't compare his status. That's like saying Prince William can stay at a hotel here in the UK with private security. Of course, he cannot do that. And so the status of working royals and members of the royal family that are actually active and about doing their duties cannot be compared to that of Prince Harry, who is primarily based in the US and who comes and goes as he pleases. Of course, there are many things that could potentially derail this case, mainly the fact that Prince Harry doesn't actually live in the UK. Him and his family are based in Montecito. And so you could argue that he's basically asking for police to be on standby when he and his family fancies a visit to the UK. What RUVEC are arguing is not that they've removed that sort of right to police protection, but they will review it on a bespoke case-by-case basis, which basically suits they argue, the Prince Harry's status currently in the UK, which is he comes and goes as he pleases. Therefore, the right to police protection should be reviewed on a case-by-case basis and not always be on standby. You know, that's going to cost the taxpayer money as well.
Exactly.
And there are other people of comparable celebrity like the Beckhams that are not automatically entitled to police protection unless there's a significant threat to their life. We know that Salman Rushdie actually did get police protection about 15 years ago because he had a fatwa against him for his book. I think it was satanic something, I can't remember. But he was one of the few people that was allowed police protection because the threat to his life was significant. Of course, the justice in charge of Prince Harry's case wasn't convinced that he warranted that automatically every single time him and his family visited the UK.
And still on the Sussexes, a report this week that Meghan has kind of moved on from the family drama, but Harry hasn't. And as you'd suspect, it's his family. But what do you think that means for the Sussexes going forward?
I suspect there might be some sort of tension. Of course, I don't think Meghan is unsympathetic to Prince Harry. He spent his whole life as a working royal, and he was always in that fold. Britain is his home, and for him to leave it and only sort of come back sporadically, for his children to not be able to come and take part in what he considers a part of their heritage, I suppose it's quite painful for him. And obviously, Meghan didn't grow up in the royal family. She doesn't have those deep ties. I believe that what wounded Prince Harry the most was having to give up his military titles and all the things that have come with his years of service as a working member of the royal family, but also as a soldier. Now, of course, Meghan is not known for having a stellar relationship with her broader family. I believe the only people and members of her family she still has any sort of significant relationship with are her mother and her cousin. On her father's side of the family, it's completely a non-starter. So you can somewhat understand that Meghan wouldn't have the same sort of feelings about sort of Harry's departure from the royal family more broadly and the UK and what that would do to him. I don't know the extent, and no one really knows the extent to which this has caused strain on their marriage. Of course, Prince Harry has been in the US for 4 years now. I know as a child it's not easy to move to a different country, but as an adult it's certainly not easy, particularly on behalf of your family, when you feel like you were forced out of a role that you seemingly loved. But the extent to which this has caused problems in their marriage, we don't yet know. There have been rumors that Meghan is probably not keen on returning to the UK for obvious reasons. She's not very well loved here by the majority of the public. But again, we don't know. This is all speculation. This might actually, the marriage might actually be a way for Harry to cope from his departure from Britain and the royal family more broadly. We don't know, but we can see how that would cause a strain.
Imagine. And honestly, the fact that he wants a one leg in, one leg out with his family don't make sense. Talking about armed security guard, be on standby for him. Because why? He obviously did not want to be part of it, but now he's now looking for all of the benefits. It don't make sense. I mean, all of this is not even supposed to be. Ideally, hearing about this is just don't make sense. It's funny. But let's even talk about them and their relationship. I've said it before. I don't know anybody who would say, oh, like him leaving his family for somebody who obviously she's not even in a good relationship with her family. He was in a good relationship with his, but all of a sudden she came into his life and his family, he sees his family as somewhat like stranger. Don't make sense. Like how is it? But I've said it before. I just hope that this does not come to bite them somewhere down the road, because their kids are obviously watching. And hmm, this is interesting, because obviously he's giving up so much, giving up his entire family for her, what he's known for her. Like, is I don't even know how to put it. I honestly feel sad and bad on his behalf, because imagine not being in a good relationship with your family, and then one minute you be like, okay, you want to enjoy the benefit, you want to enjoy the title of being the part of the family, and then like you just want to up and do whatever you like. He's not a child anymore, he's an adult. And all of this is, it doesn't sit well. But let me know what you think about this though. Let's go on.
And as a corollary to that, quite the statement from royal commentator Angela Levin that Harry's terrified that Meghan would leave him. I mean, no one wants to see a relationship split, and particularly when kids are involved. And what's your view on that comment?
I think that's not based in any sort of reality. Again, like I said, we don't know any of this. We don't know the nature of their relationship. We don't know the dynamics.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one who's married with children wants to have a separation. It's quite traumatic for not only the couple, but the children involved.
Kids,
There'll also be
yes.
significant logistical hurdles. Prince Harry has been fighting for years now to even get his armed protection back here in the UK so that he can feel safe bringing his family over. If they were to separate, what would happen? What would happen to his visa application? Would he stay in a different part of the US and commute to see his family? Would he move to the UK and hope to do some sort of transatlantic relationship? That's obviously not the ideal case for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So this is obviously just a rumor and it's based on Angela Levin's opinion, but we don't have any evidence of that just yet. So we'll just have to wait and see how things unfold.
And it's also been reported, and again this year, that the Sussexes haven't been invited to Trooping the Colour. Was that expected?
Yes, it was expected. They are no longer working members of the royal family. It's not surprising that they've not been invited to Trooping the Colour. And many people are still hoping that Princess Catherine, even though she's undergoing cancer treatment, will make an appearance. It's now unlikely, but you never know. The royal family can always pull surprises. We know that the king has really been trying to get back in his role as king,
Yes.
even though he's had to sort of step back, and they've made some adjustments with his appearance at Trooping the Colour to accommodate for the fact that he's still undergoing chemotherapy. To have the Sussexes anywhere near the royal family at this precarious time, when 3 members of the royal family have significant health issues, would not be a very wise thing to do. It's not surprising at all, and it's an invitation I suspect the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would reject, because they don't feel safe here in the UK, because like I mentioned before, their automatic right to armed security has been removed. So there's even no point in making that invitation, when in all likelihood they would probably reject it.
And on to the King, and we understand the King will host the Japan state visit. There was a query at one stage whether he would be able to, given his health. What's planned and who'll be involved?
So the Emperor and Empress of Japan have been invited. This was actually supposed to take place. The state visit was supposed to take place in 2020. So it's been delayed for 4 years due to COVID. And the visit has been significantly amended. They actually land in the UK. They arrive in the UK on Monday, but the official
Wow.
state visit will happen on Tuesday. And that's because the Emperor and Empress want to go and visit their old college of Oxford University, at Oxford University. And so they want to have some personal time here in the UK before they embark on these state duties. Obviously, this is very important. The timing is also quite unfortunate because there is a general election on July 4th. So the main political elements of the state visit have been removed. But we know that senior working members of the royal family will be out and about. Prince William will go to their hotel room to greet them once they arrive. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh as well will also be involved in the state visit activities. We know that the king is going to be quite involved, the king and the queen. The king has actually visited Japan on numerous occasions while he was Prince of Wales. And so we know that he has deep ties to Japan and the Japanese royal family. So the state visit, as was originally planned, will probably go ahead in the exact same way that it's expected. State visits are very formulaic here in the UK, but obviously there will be political elements that will be removed to make it appropriate for the fact that there is an upcoming general election. And the king has also had to step back on certain duties because of the election.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And thank you so much for joining us, Esther Kraku. Excellent observations as always.
But of course, obviously they don't want to be part of the royal family. That's the source says they don't want to be part of the royal family. So it will not make sense for them to invite them to tripping of color. But let's even talk about this, because I mean, what's the essence of inviting them when in the real sense they said no, they don't want to be part of it? So it's just like you trying to force them to want to be part of it, and then be like, oh, okay, they are begging me, kind of, that human instincts where you the person that obviously is saying, oh, I'm not interested, I don't want to be your friend, and you're like, oh, come on, okay, let's go out, let's hang out and stuff, and that and that, the person will feel like, oh, you're the one that is craving for this friendship so bad. So I don't think at this point, if they don't want to, if nobody or members of the royal family don't want to invite the successes anywhere, they have every reason to, because they outrightly decided, they walked away, they stepped out of being part of the royal family. So I mean, they should enjoy that, because they wanted their life to be private and all of that, but they still want all of the benefit, all of the titles and every other thing, but not the job. Like, make it make sense. I don't know anybody who goes to an employer and tell their employer, okay, they want to be paid all of the benefit and everything, they don't want to do their job, they want the position, they want the title, they want everything, but they don't want to do their job, and they report to the office anytime they feel like, or come in to sign attendance for work, but they're not doing their job, nothing and whatnot, but they expect to get paid. Like, make it make sense. But this is an interesting conversation regardless. Yeah, it's just rumors about the successes splitting up, because I mean, let's just be honest, the both of them are perfect match to each other. So do you ever think they are gonna split up? I don't think they would, but let me know what you think about this. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I really love you to share that. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.